Must have been a relief when Tom finally seemed to have left the village.
Not exactly, no. Because he was with Amelia at this point. So I was worried who was going to do to her what he did to me.
So, when Miss Spencer wished to talk in private...
I thought she'd finally seen through his act. But instead of Amelia turning up, it was Tom. And he locked the door behind him and took the key.
I just wanted to talk. As difficult as it was, I was trying to move on with my life, and clearly Belle couldn't do the same.
He then attacked me. Physically. And then made a coffee. Like it was nothing. And that's when I grabbed the shotgun.
Suddenly she's pointing it right at me.
I wasn't gonna shoot him. I just wanted him to give me the key so I could get out of there.
She got herself into such a state. I don't even think she knew what she was doing.
I just ran. I knew he was coming for me.
I couldn't exactly leave her like that. She still had the shotgun. Who knows what could have happened?
I hid him up with a chair, but he had an axe, and he just smashed his way through.
I am sorry, but there was no axe. I just pushed the door open, and there she was, pointing the shotgun at me again. Only this time, she pulls the trigger.
He had an axe.
Luckily for me, the safety was still on. I managed to get the gun from her before anyone got hurt, or so I thought.
He wasn't even angry anymore. It was worse than that. He was getting off on how scared I was, and if I hadn't... You weren't there. You didn't see what he was like.
I turned to leave. And then suddenly there was this axe in my back.
I don't even remember picking it up. He was going to kill me. I was sure of it.
So...
I'm honest.
On the basis of that meeting, you made the decision to admit Mrs. King to a crisis assessment unit.
Belle and I made that decision together.
And Mr. King, was he supportive?
No. Far from it, in fact. He claimed the only problem was that Belle had stopped taking her medication, but they'd fixed that now.
How long was Mrs. King at the centre?
Not long. Belle discharged herself soon. Too soon, in my opinion.
What happened next?
I went to visit her at home. She was very on edge about the possibility of me running into her husband. When I suggested meeting somewhere else, somewhere he wouldn't see us, she refused. She told me he was tracking her phone.
And how did Mrs. King seem when she told you this? Angry? Resentful?
Anything but. In my opinion, she was frightened. Broken, even.
Did Mrs. King ever tell you, outright, that she was being abused by her husband?
She didn't have to.
Why was that?
Because in my opinion, it was clear she was being controlled by him. And I know for a fact her cousin Charity shared my concerns.
But Mrs. King never explicitly communicated to you or your team that her husband was being abusive towards her. A simple yes or no will suffice.
No.
Thank you. No further questions.
To have a baby. That we were going to be a family. It was everything I ever wanted. What I thought we both wanted.
Then came the news that your wife had miscarried.
Suddenly, everything I'd imagined, everything I'd dreamed of was gone. I was devastated. As for Belle, I couldn't even begin to imagine how it must have felt for her.
I don't know what I was thinking. All I know is that I was scared. Of him. And that having a baby in that moment, it would have been a mistake.
To go through all of that grief together, only to find out the truth. That she'd lied. That she'd aborted our baby. Well, that's when I realized that our marriage was over.
House. I felt sick. Because I didn't know how long they'd been up there. or how many more there were. And I finally thought I was free of him. But he could never let me go.
It was only ever about keeping Belle safe. I was her husband. And I realize it might sound a little old-fashioned, but... well, I saw that as my responsibility. And it was a responsibility I took seriously.